G'day Pickleball family. First thing to know, as shared on Variety.com, Celebrity Pickleball Series, The Wager, hosted by Jason Kennedy, to begin streaming later this year. Pure Play Entertainment's The Wager, the Celebrity Pickleball Series hosted by longtime TV personality Jason Kennedy, will begin streaming in the US on Roku, Tubi, Zumo and Pluto in the coming months. The show is currently airing regionally in the US on NBC Sports, MSG Networks, beIN Sports, and more in over 100 markets. Episodes feature Kennedy and his pickleball partner, PPA pro Wes Burrows, as they compete against film, television, and sports stars, including Taylor Lautner, Patrick Schwarzenegger, Shawn Johnson, Randy Gerber, Presley Gerber, Kit Hoover, Austin North, Johnny Lowe, Chandler Parsons, Bill Rancic, Colton Underwood, Golden Tate, David Dobrik, and Eric Decker. The teams wager bets before each match to determine consequences for the losing teams. These include charitable donations, and others include embarrassing outcomes such as unfiltered social media takeovers from the opponents. During halftime breaks, the teams chat about life and share off-the-court stories. Pickleball captivates players of all ages, and we aim to create an engaging way for everyone to experience the thrill from home, even if they're just cheering from the sidelines, producer Bryn Chappell said. When we discovered celebrity matches were already taking place, we realised that capturing this excitement would resonate with a broad audience, she added. We're incredibly fortunate to have such great talent on the court in season one and to have partnered with incredible platforms that will bring this show to millions of viewers. Second thing to know, as shared on pickleball.com, an overview of the MLP Major League Pickleball playoff picture. With the conclusion of the MLP Miami event, the 2024 regular season has come to a close. The top 6 teams from the Premier and Challenger levels are moving on to the postseason, which begins at the end of this week with the quarterfinals in Dallas. Let's take a look at the teams that made it Premier level. Number 1, New Jersey Fives on 54 points. Number 2, St. Louis Shock on 52 points. Number 3, Dallas Flash on 46 points. Number 4, DC Pickleball Team on 39 points. Number 5, Texas Ranchers on 38 points. And number 6, New York Hustlers on 36 points. As the top 2 seeds, the Fives and Shock each receive a first-round bye. This means that they won't play again until the second round of the playoffs, running November 22 through 24 in Orlando. As the number 3 seeds, the Flash will choose to face either the Ranchers or Hustlers in next week's quarterfinal round. DC will face whichever team Dallas doesn't choose, with the victor of each matchup moving on to Orlando. Challenger level, number 1, Chicago Slice, 44 points. Number 2, SoCal Heartaches, 41 points. Number 3, Miami Pickleball Club, 39 points. Number 4, Atlanta Bouncers, 39 points. Number 5, Las Vegas Night Owls, 35 points. Number 6, Frisco Pandas, 33 points. As in the Premier level, the top 2 seeds of Chicago and SoCal will earn first-round byes and advance to the semifinals. That matters a lot more here, though, because the 4 teams that reach the Challenger semifinals will get promoted to Premier in 2025. Miami will choose to play either Las Vegas or Frisco in the quarterfinals, and Atlanta will take on whichever team Miami doesn't choose. Third thing to know, as shared on the Dink Pickleball.com, UPAA to use destructive testing to level the pro playing field in 2025. In order to build the future of professional pickleball paddle testing, first, you have to tear it all down. That's the vision of the United Pickleball Association of America, or UPAA, and its president, Jason Aspers. The UPAA recently announced its 2025 paddle certification rollout plan, detailing the fees and related costs for brands to submit paddles for testing, key upcoming dates, and updated standards for acceptable limits of spin and power. The backbone of the plan is the UPA's proactive new testing method to ensure all paddles are on a level playing field before they ever get to a professional court. Destructive testing. The problem is that these paddles change. We know that they all have break-in periods, some more than others, but some are really significant. Aspis said in an interview, "We are going to replicate play on every paddle that gets certified to ensure that if they do change, they never go over a certain threshold." Beginning April 1, 2025, every paddle used by every pro in a PPA or MLP event will have gone through this rigorous new testing protocol. So, what is destructive testing and what impact will it have on the program in 2025 and beyond? Here's what you need to know. Despite how it might sound, destructive testing has nothing to do with cutting paddles open or peeling them apart layer by layer. We're not forensic investigators, says Aspis. Rather, the term applies to a paddle's performance and critically how that performance changes over time. Destructive testing is the process of breaking the paddle in through the testing process, says Aspis. How does it work? The hotness of a paddle, the speed at which the ball rebounds or deflects off its face, can change over time, sometimes dramatically, even in just a day. The problem, there's no benchmark. Each paddle that's being made right now is different, even if it's the same model, same make, same everything, says Aspis. Our quality controls are just not there. Destructive testing is just the beginning of installing new quality controls. While deflection is linked to the speed at which a ball travels after hitting a paddle, PBCOR or PB core, paddle ball coefficient of restitution, provides a deeper analysis by comparing the speed of the ball before and after impact. Every new paddle submitted for testing will ensure thousands of control shots from a machine-propelled pickleball under standardized lab conditions. The goal is to understand the bell curve of a paddle's peak power. For many paddles, deflection force will rise, plateau, and then decline to its natural limit. We're plotting out every data point in the life cycle of a paddle under lab conditions, so we know exactly what it's meant to do, Aspis explains. The University of Massachusetts Lowell is writing the standard operating procedures, and Pickle Pro Labs, the UPAA's independent testing lab, will conduct the testing. Aspis predicts that each paddle will require several hours of testing. It's laborious, it takes a lot of machinery, it takes a lot of manpower. It's a process, he concedes. Why does this matter? Aspis imagines a future where, just by glancing at an opponent's paddle, players will have a solid idea of what to expect in terms of power, pop, and spin. All players are different, of course, but paddles should be uniform and consistent across the board. Right now, that's far from the case, says Aspis. It's not fair. At the rec level, you'll start seeing people get hurt, but the real problem for us is that we're playing professionally. This is a real sport. People have Olympic aspirations. People are making their livelihood off of this. We can't have that kind of behaviour. While the UPAA governs professionals in the PPA and MLP tours, their testing will not apply to amateur players or the APP tour, which is governed by USA Pickleball. For paddle brands wanting to compete in the pro space in 2025 and beyond, full UPAA certification will require an annual $20,000 flat fee, $5,000 for each paddle model and $1,000 for each variation. This is intended to weed out brands capitalizing on pickleball's boom without prioritizing quality control. That's why you see 2,000 paddle manufacturers in the marketplace, says Aspis, because nobody's really looking after this and holding anyone responsible. When does destructive testing begin? Paddles currently approved by USA Pickleball can apply for UPAA provisional status for a $2,000 fee until November 15, which will be credited towards the $20,000 full certification fee. For provisional approval, spin limits must be below 2,200 RPM and the average deflection force must meet or exceed 42 pounds. Manufacturers must submit 5 paddles for testing. We'll put them through the same test we did for interim testing, but lower the threshold on deflection from 46 to 42, says Aspis. I assume everyone's going to pass because we're not trying to hold them to anything more rigid. We just want to understand what they're putting in. Full 2025 UPAA certification, including destructive testing, will begin on January 1, 2025. And now we have accountability, says Aspis. So in January, when people start playing with paddles, if it's not the same thing that we saw, we can pull it, send it back to the lab, and there will be serious consequences for manipulating a paddle. While specifics are still being finalised, ASPIS noted that 2025 will introduce a paddle challenge system for pro pickleball in both PPA and MLP events. We're putting the onus on the players, making them responsible for their own paddles because they know them better than anybody, says ASPIS. If they're playing with something that's not behaving the way it's supposed to, there will be consequences. Penalties will apply for challenge paddles that fail follow-up testing, as well as for incorrect challenges. The exact nature of these penalties, likely involving financial repercussions, is still under discussion. Everything's on the table, notes ASPIS. The future is destructive. Pickleball paddles often become more powerful with use, but exactly when or by how much is currently unknown. ASPIS is confident that destructive testing will bring much needed quality control to the professional ranks, levelling the playing field for everyone and shifting the focus to player athleticism. However, he emphasises that innovation is still encouraged within limits. This is to try to get the professional ranks a level playing field, to get manufacturers to worry about their quality control and to make better paddles. Better materials, more consistent, last longer, don't heat up, don't break down, he says. If we can get there, we'll be in a better place. Fourth thing to know, as shared on the Dink Pickleball, Dink Minor League Pickleball to offer largest prize pool in Duper 22 history at National Championship. If you need more reasons to join the best amateur pickleball tournaments in the world, the Dink Minor League Pickleball in the US just gave them to you. Through the partnership with Pickleball World Rankings, PWR, and Duper, Dynamic Universal Pickleball Rating, Dink MILP teams in the Duper 22 division now have the chance to compete for record-breaking prize money and an all-expenses-paid trip to Dubai. Along with a $3,500 cash prize for winning first place in the Duper 22 division, the entire team will also receive a trip to the PWR Championship in Dubai. This once-in-a-lifetime opportunity includes airfare and accommodations, making it an unforgettable reward for those who reach the top of the podium. Not only for that, but for every event they play in at the Dubai Championship, singles, gender, mixed, and team events, members of the team will receive an extra $3,000 per event with the ability to earn more based on their results. Note that participation in the team event at the PWR National Championships isn't guaranteed. Each player will be able to compete in the three other events, singles, gender, and mixed. Second and third place finishes in the Duper 22 division at the Dink Minor League Pickleball National Championships in St. Louis, Missouri, will also win money. In the event that one of the winning team members is unable to attend the PWR Championship, the Dink Minor League Pickleball organisation will step in and choose a substitute player to join the team. This ensures that the team can still represent at the PWR Championship and continue the journey to success on the global stage. The Dink MILP Minor League Pickleball in India. Duper 22 winners won't be the only players crossing oceans. The first Dink Minor League Pickleball event will soon take place in India, and the winners will also be given an opportunity to travel to the USA to compete in the National Championships this December. Paddles up.